Let's see what our phone really look like. Keep going deeper and deeper. What? Let me find out if phones is infested. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here to the channel, you guys don't know what we do. Let me talk about it, man. We break down scary, creepy videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG videos, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank you guys, man, who come back to my channel every single day when I drop a video. Watch the video entirely, comment attend down below on the videos, and hitting that like button, man. That really pushes us into the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Found this video for you guys today, man. Let's do what we do best, seekers, man. Stay with me, y'all. Let's seek the truth.
The story of Bush Baby, part 1. Don't forget, like, comment, share. A long time ago, a demon had a baby. This demon set her baby down to sleep. Some villagers passing by heard the baby's cry and thought the baby was lost. They took this baby back to the village. Along the mat, it was laid upon by its mother. This baby later killed each and every one of those villagers because it was pissed. It was separated from its mother. And it was pissed because it was separated from his mother. Till this very day, that Bush Baby goes around each bush waiting and looking for the exact spot its mother kept it. And if you come in its way, it will kill you without showing any mercy.
The Bush Baby. You believe that, seekers?
Locals who lived actually in the forest relatively near where this warehouse was, they said there was actually another way to get to this particular area, to get to the warehouse. There was another path that was very rough, but it was big enough for one vehicle that came in from the other direction. Now, the locals said they didn't use this path at all. They didn't even know where it originated from. But they said for the last 10 years or more, they have seen one vehicle use this road all the time to get to the warehouse. And it was this black Jeep with black tinted out windows, and they said it would typically show up most nights of the week around 8 p.m. And they said it would just go down the road, it would make its way over to the warehouse area, and then around 9:30 p.m. they would hear or see the black Jeep leaving. Now, none of the locals knew who was driving this Jeep, although they knew it was a man. That was really all they knew. And they had no idea what this man did when he got over near the warehouse. However, for the last 10 years, every time this guy was over near the warehouse from 8 to 9:30 at night, they would typically hear screams coming from that part of the woods, coming from the warehouse. And when the locals brought their concerns to police, the police just kind of blew it off and didn't do anything about it, and actually told the people, don't worry about it. And so over the years, the locals had kind of just accepted that this man in his black Jeep and the screams coming from this warehouse were just a part of life. And so no one even reported it anymore. Had the police followed up on the locals' concerns about this Jeep and the screams, they would have discovered that that warehouse was actually a storage facility for a very in-demand and very illegal product. And that man who drove that black Jeep, he would take this illegal product and he would bring it back with him in batches and he would sell it on the black market. When this posse of 100 plus Okadas pulled that metal door aside and they stepped into the warehouse, they were not met with any resistance. Anyone that had been there, any other gunmen or guards or anything like that, they had fled when they heard the sound of this massive posse whooping and yelling on their way in. And so as these Okadas are standing inside of the structure surveying what's in front of them, the first thing they noticed is right in the middle of the structure on the ground is this cement slab. It's about 4 feet by 4 feet, and one corner of this slab was elevated slightly by some rocks that had been placed under it, kind of propping it up and pitching it on an angle. And then just off of the side of the lowest point of the slab was this wooden bowl that had dark stains inside of it that was positioned in such a way that if you put water on the slab...
I saw that, man. That bowl in the freaking corner. That was a crazy story, seekers, man. A death factory. And the police, man, they didn't follow up, man. It's like, people really be giving in situations like this, man, they be trying to give the police a heads up warning something that's going on, but they just ignore them. I never got that, man. Like somebody's actively trying to save lives and you guys just ignore them. Just say, oh, it's nothing to worry about. Clearly there is.
Number 6, Mami Water. The Mami Water is known in the Western world as a mermaid, but we don't call her that in Nigeria. We call her Mami Water. Mami Water is an entity that lives in the sea. She's said to be very beautiful and also very dangerous. The legend goes that the Mami Water has the ability to grow human legs and come out of water. When she comes out, she makes a man fall in love with her, and she takes this man back to the water where he's never to be seen again. In some parts of Nigeria, sacrifices are made and the Mami Water is worshipped as a goddess. Have you seen one? Because there have been sightings in Africa. Let me know in the comment section if you think it is real or fake. There are many versions to this story. If you have a different one, let me know about it in the comment section.
Over here, so they call it the Mami Water in Nigeria, but over here, like I guess in the United States, isn't that something like a siren or a shapeshifter? Because they said that she actually grows legs and come up on the surface and lure the man's back to the sea. That kind of sounds like the siren version story over here, if I'm not mistaken. Different cultures, I guess, have different names for things that we have over there. Isn't that crazy to think about, man? We all have the same story, but it's just different versions. Really gets the mind turning.
Since I've been talking about Nigeria all day, let me tell you a spooky story about Nigerian witchcraft. So shout out to my aunt, because she's the one who told me this story. Now I don't know if she said it was a friend of hers, a neighbor, she heard it from someone, I don't know. But the story goes, a young girl, maybe in her 20s, mid-30s, she is living on her own. She is quite successful in her life, but recently things have been a bit off for her. So this young lady is on the phone with her mother one day, and her mother randomly says, hey, there's going to be 3 roaches in your kitchen tonight at 12 o'clock. There's going to be one in the front, one in the middle, and one in the back, in that order. Her mother emphasizes not to kill the roach in the middle. She put extreme emphasis not to kill the roach in the middle.
Okay.
In the front,
Not the
in
middle.
Back, it doesn't matter what you do with them, just don't kill the one in the middle. The girl finds it a bit odd that her mother is telling her that there's going to be 3 roaches in her kitchen. How does her mom know that? That's what she's wondering. So she stays up, and lo and behold, there's 3 roaches in her kitchen. And she's like, oh my god, no way, no way. So she starts smashing all of them, even the one in the middle, regardless of what her mother told her. And she went to sleep that night. In the morning, she got news that her very healthy mother passed away in the middle of the night. And everything in her life went back to normal. It's a happy ending.
What?
About the
That's crazy.
Baby folklore story. Basically, what it is if you ever hear a baby cry at night, and the sound is coming from the woods or the forest or the bushes next to your home, don't go looking for that baby. Don't go searching for that baby, because if you step out of your house and walk towards the sound, there's a demon waiting to grab you. Yes. And my grandma told me a lot of these scary stories growing up, and one of that is the bush baby. That bush baby story is one story that has so informed aspects of the ones before. So I'm excited to see how it plays in our story.
Number 8.
Really?
The tears of a dog. Many Nigerians believe that rubbing the tears of a dog on your eyes will allow you to see the spirits of the loved ones who have passed away. How true is this? Let me know in the comment section. Number 7. In Nigeria, many people believe that when a pregnant woman is lying on the floor and you cross over her, you have made her child cripple. I don't know how it works, Do you think it's real or fake? Join me as we go to number 1.
Tears of the dog ones sounds neat. I know. So this, if you put the tears of your dog, I guess, on your eyes, you can see your loved ones over in that part of the world. I wonder if anybody ever tried it. We're gonna have to follow up on that one.
Alright, now look, get the Tootsie Roll out your ear so you can hear. That this one right here, man, this one right here is funny and it's crazy.
Okay,
so,
I'm ready.
I know you heard catfishing before, right? Now, for the older people that don't know, catfishing is when, like if you're talking to somebody online and they might have a picture of somebody real handsome up there like me, but then when you meet them, they look like a moose on the loose. That's called catfishing. They just basically faked you out, right?
Yep.
And a lot of people who get catfish, it happens from people overseas and stuff trying to run scams on them and get them to send them money, and people here local do it too, But Nigeria is real notorious for catfishing people. And the reason is because that's where the catfish man come from. So the catfish man is his story. Now this man's story was he came over to America, right? And when he got to America, he saw the American women and it just, blew his mind, man. Now don't get me wrong, now some fine mugs over there in Africa, but it was just something about the American women. I guess, just the style of clothes they wore and everything. It really just, blew his mind, and all of the hair all permed and all that junk, man. It just kind of just really blew his mind. So,
Couldn't handle it.
but then nobody won because he was ugly. He was just ugly. Matter of fact, he wasn't ugly. He was oogly.
He was cooked.
That man looked like, I told you, man, he mother looked like a moose on the loose, boy. So, after he couldn't get nobody, I guess he would go fishing. Maybe it was a fisher, I guess. He caught this big old catfish. And he put it in some kind of ritual thing. So he would talk to the woman, get to know him, and he'd be friendly, and so anybody who would give him a chance for whatever, maybe they just kind of thought he was cool or something, they might give him a chance. When they would come on a date, he would show up with this catfish on his head because it was part of some kind of ritual or custom or something he had.
Imagine going on a date and the guy shows up with a catfish head, bro. That's the ultimate freaking catfish, man. That's cool how we kind of learn about the catfish origins, man. Because like you said, a lot of the catfishes, man, they be happening, like you said, overseas. You think you're talking to somebody, it's really somebody overseas, man, trying to just get some money from you. But here, that it kind of started off as a ritual. That's an interesting spin they put to it, man. I ain't gonna lie. Comment down below if you ever been catfished. I need to know. That's insane. He was cooked, man. So he showed up to a date with a catfish head.
In Nigeria, these are some urban legend ghost stories passed from generation to generation. 1. Bush Baby. The Bush Baby is a myth used to scare school students into minding their business and staying indoors at night. The Bush Babies apparently sounds like a normal baby or a toddler crying. Sometimes the kid will be calling for help, and the Good Samaritan who goes outside to help the little one disappears, never to be seen again. 2. Madam Koi. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful teacher in a secondary school. She was known for her beauty and her red heels. Whenever she walked in the hallways, her shoes will make one sound, koi koi. After she was fired from the school, she died on her way home. Before she died, she swore that she would have her revenge on the school and its students. Not too long after, students of the secondary school said at night they would hear a koi koi sound in the hallways of their dormitories after lights out, almost like the clicking of heels on a floor. 3. Aroma. Not exactly a ghost, but it is believed that this schoolgirl always had the finest, most beautifully made and neatest hair. However, whenever she was asked who made her hair, she would never say. One night, one of her roommates woke up in the middle of the night and let out a scream when she saw the girl headless, plaiting her own head.
What the heck? So the last one, She's a damn like demon or something, or a spirit in a form doing her own hair. Imagine waking up and seeing that. And that Bush baby, man, we heard it multiple times, so it's really in the lore.
Let's talk about some Nigerian mythology today, specifically about the ghost, Madam Koi Koi. She's the ghost of a mean school teacher, and she has the nickname Madam Koi Koi for the sound of her high heels as she walked down the hallways looking for children to beat. She was known for beating up students for no other reason than looking at her wrong. One day she got into a fight with a female student and smacked her, and this was the final straw, and Madam Koi Koi got fired. As Madam Koi Koi headed home, she got into a terrible accident. Some versions say that it was a car accident, some versions say that the kids jumped her and beat her to death, but nonetheless, as she lay there dying, she vowed vengeance on the school that fired her and swore that she would haunt it in her death. And all across Nigeria, people now swear that they can hear the footsteps of Madam Koi Koi as she comes for disobedient children.
Sure, he's fighting kids. See, we didn't hear that, man. I'm glad we learned that piece of information. That's how she got fired.
Whistling at night. According to Nigerian legend, whistling at night is an invitation for the spirits to come knocking. Numerous legends have different accounts of people who have whistled and have in turn been met by snakes, occult members, evil spirits, or even found themselves in strange places. An interesting legend about a girl named Omone. One night, Omone's stepmother sent her out fetch water in the deep hours of the night. Being hopeless and terrified, Omone had no option but to leave her house. As legend goes, Omone was walking deeper into the village on her way into the stream and started whistling, perhaps mindlessly. She began hearing strange noises in the bushes which stopped every time she stopped whistling. Omone, being curious, continued to whistle, and the noises in the bushes continued to grow. Out of nowhere, snakes, demons, evil apparitions, and dead corpses surrounded her in a flash and began whistling and hissing at her. And that was the last Omone was seen, as she never made it to the stream and never returned home. It's said that somewhere in the bushes, she still whistles with the demons and evil spirits which captured her, waiting to get their next whistling prey.
Man, they just scooped her up at night?
Nigerian scary legends about pregnant women. There is a legend that believes that a pregnant woman must not walk around at certain times during the day. If she does, an evil spirit will enter her body and replace her actual child. Another legend says if a pregnant woman in Nigeria eats snails, her child will be sluggish and have a mouth that constantly drools. There is also an urban legend that believes that a pregnant woman should never let anyone cross over her legs, or else she will give birth to a child with one leg or one hand. What other Nigerian legend do you know about? Share in the comments section and follow us at Tribesand History for more African stories.
Eat slugs? I'm gonna say, I don't think you see slugs on pregnancy? I thought it wasn't even safe to eat slugs, man. What the clips we watched together, man, it's like if you eat slugs, you might get parasites or something. That's what I learned watching these clips, so. Hey, man, different cultures. That's why we watch these videos, man, and learn. So you can just... If you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support, man. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below in these videos, man. It helps us push us into the algorithm. Guys gonna catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube. Ooh. Damn.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
That one might have been an edit. That was that.
Hello. She wants to come in, Hassan.
That ain't no damn deer. See his eyes? What the hell? It's like 2 separate interviews. And if you can caught the ball. Y'all saw that, Seekers? That was some glitches, man. Record on camera.
So I cut watermelon for my kids, and they're all bringing it right back, saying they don't like the texture. I've seen enough videos of people posting rubbery watermelon. I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon. The texture is so weird. Like, you gotta bend it so far before it will break.
Let me find out we eating fake food.
This is a really thick cut, so that one was easier. What's going on with the watermelon this season?
We need to check all our food now, see. Confirmed. On fire? Not on fire. Didn't even notice the difference when she blended in. They still be working with those though? Not I. Let's see what our phone really look like. Keep going deeper and deeper. Let me find out if freaking phones is infested with damn bugs. What the hell? Microscopic, man, so we can't see him?
Before and after they sell their soul. Sam Smith.
Okay. Seems regular. I don't get, man, how these artists, man, and you see in the beginning of the career, they start out one way, then they just slowly transition to the other side. Seemed normal, then he just transitioned, to the other side that promotes. You don't even have to say it, but you guys know. Obviously, you saw the imagery right there, so you know what he's trying to promote. It's just sad, honestly. Somebody just can't stay the same throughout their whole career, man. They see what's trending, or they just transition to the other side, man. We heard that Hollywood's a dark place, or the music business. We know what goes on behind the scenes there. Can make a whole video about that. Just finding clips about the freaking music industry. Tell me if I should do that, man. Down below. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're true seekers seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up on this video. Comment down below, man. It just helps us push us into the algorithm, man, so we can just take off and explode. I've been seeing that we be getting these views, man, every single video, and I really appreciate it. But let's continue to build momentum. Thank you, guys. I'm out. Peace, seekers. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new to the channel, if you guys don't know what we do, let me tell you about it, man. We break down escape room, creepy videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank my supporters, man, who's tapping in with us, man, watching the video entirely, hitting that post notification bell, man, and hitting that like button on each and every single video. I see you guys support, man, so I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Let's seek the truth.
In the beliefs of the Baloch people are associated with the mystery and deep silence of its nature and historical monuments.
Okay.
The cemetery of Jinn, what the Baloch call Jinn Sant, is one of these secrets. Locals believe that these tombs belong to the Jinn. They have buried their dead in the fence of these stones, and when night falls, the Jinn will appear on the graves of their lost ones and mourn them. They say that whoever goes to this graveyard at night will be cursed by the Jinn and will surely die with a severe punishment after a few days. Why is this cemetery known as the Cemetery of Jinn at all? The main reason is the tombstones of this cemetery. The tombstones planted in this cemetery are in such a way that they bear no resemblance to the tombstones of a human being. Although many of these stones were destroyed over the years, there are still traces of these tombstones, and there are so many that we can guess that this used to be a cemetery. The strangest tombstone of the Scary Fairy Cemetery. The strange part of this cemetery goes back to one of the tombs that is very long and wide. There is a...
Those tombstones. I just say no, they said it was a cemetery, but that was a circular shape, so that really has me raising some questions, man. We've seen a couple of clips, man, talking about jinns, but this one was really breaking it down for us. What do you guys think, seekers? Should we go down that rabbit hole even more?
Ahriman created the desert spirit demons known as Da'avas to serve as direct opposites to the celestial angels known as the Holy Immortals or Amashus Bentus. For example, the demon Druj, who represents falsehood, was created to be the polar opposite of Ashur-Vahishta, the archangel of truth and righteousness. Several of the Da'avas were once sacred Hindu deities who were brought to Persia and transformed into evil spirits. In fact, the term Da'ava or Deva originated in India as a name that meant shining ones, and it was applied to both gods and demigods. The Da'avas are not necessarily eternal, but they have been around for a long time, spreading disease and misery all over the world. They are also keen on leading mankind astray by encouraging people to worship them, rather than pray to a creator god. The Da'avas are supposed to be kept at bay by living a clean and decent life, and enjoying the blessings of creation. Unfortunately, even the most upright people are vulnerable to Da'ava possession for approximately 9 days after death. Evil people, on the other hand, can be possessed while still alive, and there are several purifying ceremonies and specific prayers that can be used to drive the vile Da'avas away.
I guess stay away from the Da'avas. They can take you over. The afterlife. There's definitely somebody's grunting, bro. Is it a graveyard too? Whoa. Buried alive or something? Coming from hell. Okay, what the hell is that? You hear echo in the voice now. Oh, is that the opening he's hearing it from? Is he like digging? You see the dirt on his hand. He was definitely digging something. What do you guys think, man? Was that an edit or was that legit?
You guys want to know why I'm low-key afraid of Dua Lipa now? So there's actually this Iranian folktale that my dad told me about when she first popped off. It's about this long-legged man named Dua Lipa, which basically translates to long-legged person. So the story goes that Dua Lipa wanted to cross this large river, and so he asks this water troll to help him across. So after some persuading, the troll reluctantly agrees to help Dua Lipa cross the river, and he asks him to hop on his back. But as they're crossing the river, the water depth increases, and the troll asks Dua Lipa to loosen up his legs so that he can catch his breath. But Dua Lipa refuses, and they both end up drowning. And apparently, the moral of the story is to not let someone you don't know control your life. I don't know if the Dua Lipa we know and love knows this story, but I think about it every time I hear one of her songs or I see her perform. And as amazing as she is, the Persian fable got me.
Who is Rostam?
Hey man, what she was saying, her name Dua Lipa was based off that story. And she's a freaking like, you know, she's a star. And I guess they said the moral of the story was to don't let somebody you know control your life. And that's kind of the main point of freaking stars, man. When that's all you think about when you listen to the music and things of that nature. So there was definitely some similarities between those two stories, man. These freaking pop stars and movie stars and actors, bro. Now we got folklore based off their names now. What's next?
Rostam is a legendary Persian hero known for his great size and strength. He wore a panther skin, wielded a club, and is known for his 7 labors, prompting many to compare him to the Greek hero Hercules.
Okay.
Jinn.
Somebody like Hercules?
Jinns have no physical body of their own, and are creatures from an unseen dimension realm. Jinns can be both benevolent or malevolent. Jinns have the ability to predict the future, can read people's thoughts, have extraordinary strength.
I told you, bro. We keep learning about jinns. We keep seeing jinns throughout these clips. We're gonna have to do a deep dive into them one day, man. So they can be either good or bad now. Some new information we picked up. Well, you know, man, tap in with us.
A serial killer in 3, 2, 1. He has killed another girl, a 15-year-old girl. I don't mean to be rude, but his face looks like a piece of shit. His disgusting face is printed on the second page of all school textbooks. Doesn't this sound like a cult? Why should a 7-year-old kid see the face of a murderer every single day at school? Students have been drawing on his disgusting face for years now, because we hate him. Another good and accurate drawing. Students have been tearing up his photos like this. This girl was among the many who did that. But the Islamic Republic security forces raided the school and checked to see if they still have that murderer's photo in their books. And she didn't. So they beat her up so bad that she passed away.
What? All because they didn't have him in the book?
Did you know that Black Friday actually means something very different in Iran? Bringing up those words evokes memories of the Black Friday Massacre, which occurred on September 8, 1978. The Black Friday Massacre resulted in the deaths of reportedly up to 3,000 people.
Damn.
And it was a pivotal point in the Iranian Revolution. Basically, this is a very complex subject to talk about, but at the time, people in Iran were fed up with the governing body, the Pahlavi dynasty, and they wanted the governing body of Iran to be replaced by an Islamic republic. That summer, protests had been erupting all over Iran. People were really fed up with what had been happening. There were all these weird events that were occurring, like a movie theater fire that killed over 400 people that people thought was linked to the Iranian government. And on that day, September 8th, 1978, thousands gathered in a public square in Tehran, Iran, to protest the government. But what they didn't know was that the government had enacted martial law just days before. So at some point during this massive protest, government officials started opening fire and massacring people by the dozens. Now, while some people claim that only 90 or so people died during this event, various other news sources, chronicles, people that were there claim that over 3,000 people were slaughtered on that day.
And although this was an extremely tragic event that is still remembered in Iran to this day, this led to the overthrow of the government. So even though the Iranian government at the time that day tried to squash the rebellion by opening fire on these protesters, that totally turned around against them, and once again it led to the fall of the government.
Hey man, and what the freaking Black Friday was associated with that tragedy, man. And, you know, over here Black Friday means, you know, people they be going crazy and they be shopping, and how it, you know, how sometimes it ends up really bad, man. I wonder, is that what the name originated from?
In 1979, 66 American hostages were taken in Iran. 14 would be released, but 52 would be stuck in Iran for 444 days. The hostages were released on the day that Ronald Reagan replaced Jimmy Carter as the U.S. president. Were they released because Ronald Reagan was a serious guy, or because Jimmy Carter negotiated the right way? 172 days after people were taken in Iran, Jimmy Carter ordered a military mission to rescue the hostages. The mission failed, though, because 3 U.S. helicopters failed and another crashed into a plane. Jimmy Carter continued to negotiate with the leader of Iran, but he would not let hostages go. Finally, 443 days after the U.S. hostages were taken, the United States agreed to give Iran a whole lot of money and clear its criminal record in exchange for all 52 of the captured Americans. That's pretty quirky, but some people don't believe that story. Why? I'll answer that in part 2.
We've seen it happen before, actually, this year, about
There is a
prison
silent
transfers.
and mysterious cemetery in the southeastern part of Iran in the village of Tis, an ancient village at least 2,300 years old. In the beliefs of the Baloch people, the jinns are associated with mystery and the deep silence of this cemetery and historical monuments. The cemetery of Jinn, what the Baloch call Jinsan, is one of these secrets. Locals believe that these tombs belong to the jinn. They have buried their dead in the fence of these stones, and when night falls, the jinn will appear on the graves of their lost ones and mourn them. They say that whoever goes to this graveyard at night will be cursed by the jinn and will shortly die with a severe punishment after a few days. Why is this cemetery known as the Cemetery of Jinn at all? The main reason is the tombstones of this cemetery. The tombstones planted in this cemetery are in such a way that they bear no resemblance to the tombstones of a human being. Although many of these stones were destroyed over the years, there are still traces of these tombstones, and there are so many that we can guess that this used to be a cemetery. The strange part of this cemetery goes back to one of the tubes that is very long and wide.
We've seen that in the first clip, man, but it was bringing it down even more.
The sky is telling us something.
What the hell? It's split. That's a weird ass phenomenon, Seekers. The sky was literally, the clouds was literally like split. What the hell, man? Hey, these clips, bro, breaking my mind sometimes.
Whew. Iranian salt mummies. In the Cherabat salt mine in Iran, several ancient mummies have been uncovered, and they're honestly among the most horrifying mummies in the world, not only because of their appearance, but also because of their tragic backstories. In 1993, the first salt mummy was discovered by workers in the local salt mine. The mummy had a long white beard, iron knives, and a single gold earring. Experts believe the mummy dates to 300 AD. Several years later, in 2004, another mummy was discovered, and it was followed by the discovery of another mummy a year later. The sixth salt mummy was discovered recently, and the preservation of the mummy's body is astounding. His hair, bones, and internal organs remained intact. This is thanks to the high salinity of the cave. In fact, one of the salt men was so incredibly well preserved that his boots even remained intact. So much so that scientists could still see his toes through radiographic imaging. Upon examining the boots, they discovered the toes of the man curled tightly towards the tip, suggesting he was wearing uncomfortable footwear while working. Scientists believe that the salt men discovered in the caves were obtaining salt when they became trapped in the cavern. After all, many of the mummies discovered showed signs of trauma, indicating that the salt men were crushed inside the cave. It's highly likely that all of them were miners who met their untimely deaths while working inside the mines. Number 8. The Cannibals of the Goff's Cave. In 2011, a macabre collection was discovered at Goff's Cave in Cheddar Gorge, southwest England. archaeologists stumbled upon a cave that was most likely inhabited by cannibals around 14,000 years ago, after the last ice age. Several bones were discovered in the area, many showing signs of butchery. It was clear that the victims were butchered by fellow humans in order to be eaten. When they were dead, their bones were cleaned and carved into cups. Quite gruesome, huh? Number 7.
Whoa.
Crystal Sepulchre Cave. In a cave in the Taper Mountain Nature Reserve are several skeletons. Many of them are lying with their limbs spread, befitting their tragic fates. The skeletons belong to people who were sacrificed by the Maya in order to appease their gods more than 1,000 years ago. The youngest of the skeletons belonged to a 1-year-old child, and the oldest was around 45 years old. Almost all of the victims inside the cave died of blunt force trauma, indicating that many of them didn't lead happy lives. Number 6. Lost Girl. Imagine you're exploring a cave, and you suddenly hear what you think is the sound of a young girl crying. You try to find the source of the sound, and after looking around, you do see a young girl crying all alone in the middle of the cave. That's precisely what happened when an explorer named Josh ventured into the Ape Cave in Mount St. Helens in the United States. They were far inside the cave when they began hearing the sound of a child crying. One decided to take a step back and turn around, but curiosity got the best of them. Luckily, they decided to walk deeper inside. As they walked further into the cave, and as the entrance became narrower, the crying noise became louder. They found a young girl in the middle of the cave who didn't speak English. Fortunately, they coaxed the girl into following them outside the cave, where her parents frantically looked for her. Number 5.
Yeah, heroes.
Moaning Cavern. The Moaning Cavern in Vallecito, California is arguably one of the scariest caves in the world. Not because of its daunting terrain, but because of the ghosts that allegedly haunt the area. The Moaning Cavern is popular for various activities in the area, from ziplining and gem digging to spelunking. What's more, the caverns are also famous because of the many artifacts discovered in the area. In the 1840s, gold miners discovered the Moaning Caverns, and inside, they stumbled upon arrowheads and other artifacts, including a necklace that's about 8,000 years old. Human bones were also discovered in the area. Now you're probably wondering how the cave obtained its name in the first place.
Yeah.
You see, when the first visitors of the cave stepped foot in the area, they kept hearing wailing and moaning sounds, although we now know the unnerving sounds were caused by the wind. Number 4. The Haunted Mammoth Cave. Mammoth Cave is the most extensively known cave system in the world. Many people from all around the world visit Mammoth Cave National Park. However, aside from its natural beauty, it's also well known for paranormal activity. There are more than 150 documented paranormal events around the cave. Not only are the numbers significant, but the witnesses are also credible people, even researchers and scientists. Certainly, scientists have no reason to lie about seeing a ghost. Right? For this reason, the Mammoth Cave is also known as the most haunted natural wonder in the world. In 1839, the cave was purchased by Dr. John Croghan for $10,000. For that price, the cave also came with several enslaved people, including a cave guide named Stephen Bishop. Many were delighted by the tours offered by Stephen, but Croghan had a different plan. For some strange reason, he wanted to convert the cave into a hospital. The doctor built 11 huts inside the cavern, and initially 15 patients were transferred to the cavern. It was the beginning of a disaster. Shortly after, the condition of the patients worsened, and Dr. Croghan himself died of tuberculosis. Many of the slave guides died years later. People believe that to this day, they still return to the cave as spirits to see how things are. One of the new guides claimed to have seen a family of African Americans in a group he was guiding once. However, after finishing the tour, the family mysteriously disappeared. There was also no record of the family taking the cave tour. If you want to get spooked, there are countless stories on the internet about the Mammoth Cave.
All those freaky caves. The one at the end, man, he tried to build a hospital and put it in a cave. That was not a great idea. At all, Seekers, I'm sorry. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you guys are seeking the truth, man. Truly, I really appreciate the support. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys hit that post notification bell. So always get notified when I upload a video. Hit that like button, man. Like I said, I saw a comment yesterday that really just said me, said, don't give up. Trust me, I won't, man. We're going to post every single day, man. Like I said, the schedule might switch up over these past couple of days, but you guys just know, man. If you guys hit that subscribe button, man, thank you guys for joining me on my journey. We're going to take off and explode in this algorithm, man. I truly believe that. You guys going to catch it in the next one, man. Tell me, guys, down below what you guys think of this video. Did you guys see anything that freaked you out, spooked you out? Put it down below. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.